Good evening, people. Welcome to the Sports and Superheroes podcast. I'm your host, Marcus, and with me tonight, I have my co-host, Gershon. Gershon,
What's
say
up,
what's up
people?
to the
What's up?
people.
What's up? What's up? What's up, people? We're back, episode 2. You were
Yep,
trying to get this along, trying to get this thing going.
right. For everyone who's new to our podcast, we talk about sports and superheroes, and any other thing that's going on in pop culture right now. Um, today we're going to start with some sports, and then Gershon is going to follow up with some superheroes. So let's jump right into it. Now,
Sounds
this
good.
this first topic is a doozy. You know, um, I'm breaking it up in two parts. I'm just going to start with part one right now.
All right.
We're going to get into this Fox Sports lawsuit that happened, I think, about a week ago now. Um, for those of you that don't know, a former hairstylist that worked at Fox Sports Networks is suing Fox Sports and Skip Bayless, and also Joy Taylor is also mentioned in the lawsuit. She's suing over sexual harassment, unlawful termination, and the young lady's name is Nushin. I'm only going to pronounce her first name because I know I'm going to butcher her last name.
Understandable.
Okay? All right. So I'm going to get into some of the meat and the potatoes of this lawsuit. So, Nushin filed the lawsuit, again, like I said, against Fox Sports. Charlie Dixon, which is I think he was a CEO at Fox Sports. Skip Bayless, FS1, which is Fox Sports One, the channel. Excuse me, and Joy Taylor says the lawsuit seeks class action status on behalf of Noshin and other non-exempt Fox employees working in California over the past 4 years. Noshin seeks monetary damages and a jury trial. So Noshin was a hairstylist that worked at Fox Sports, so she would do like Skip Bayless hair and Joy Taylor and all the other commentators that worked at Fox
Okay.
Sports. So, um,
So she was behind the scenes doing behind the scenes stuff, kind of. Yeah.
right,
Okay.
right, make them look good for TV,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it says in the lawsuit, she alleged. I'm going to say all this is alleged. It's in a
Yep.
lawsuit,
Yep. Because we not trying to
but
get sued.
exactly. All this is in a lawsuit, but alleged. She alleged that Charlie Dixon. I remember this guy's name. He's head at Fox Sports. She alleged that Charlie Dixon grabbed her butt at Joy Taylor's birthday party,
Mm.
and at the time, her and Joy Taylor were friends, and she was like caught off guard and felt really uncomfortable, and she was like, I did, she needed to tell someone. So
Yeah.
she told Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor told her to get over it.
Mm.
So she was like, and once later when I do part two of the story, when I talk about Joy, you go understand why Joy said that, and that part is going to make sense. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
so the biggest thing with her is Skip. She said. She said, when she would do the hairstylist for Undisputed, that's the show that Skip Bayless was working with Shannon Sharp, and Joy Taylor initially started on this show. But she said Skip would give her lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers, and pressing against her breasts. She told Skip multiple times she wasn't interested. She also told Skip In this particular incident, she told Skip she was suffering from ovarian cancer after developing issues with her left ovary, just to get him to stop and get away from him after he was giving her
Jeez.
this lingering hug and kisses. Uh, but that didn't work. Like over the next
Mhm.
few weeks, Skip got more aggressive with pursuing after her. Even at one point, Skip offered her 1.5 million just to have sex with him.
Oh, Skip.
Right?
Ain't Skip married?
Skip is married.
Oh, Skip.
Skip is married. Skip is married.
Oh, wow.
Also, what part of the game of that were you willing to pay 1.5 million to have sex with somebody?
I mean,
I understand.
to him, that's like $5.
All right, I was gonna say I understand he's an old white dude, but what 1.5 million? That's
He got that
okay.
kind of money, so it's not. Yeah.
So I got to ask you a question though. So I was thinking about this when I read that. I'm like 1.5 million. Also, I want to say she declined the offer. She declined it when he offered her 1.5
Okay.
million. But I was thinking about this. I was
Okay.
like, who would be a celebrity equivalent to Skip? You know, kind of like age, female wise, age and older. And no disrespect, first person that came to my mind was Whoopi Goldberg. And then I thought to myself, I'm gonna ask you this question, and then I'll give you my answer. If you're a hairstylist on The View, right? And Whoopi Goldberg, like, hey, I give you 1.5 million to have sex with me. You going? You doing it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, but it's
I
different for us. It's different for us as men because that's something that normally doesn't happen. We don't
right.
get offered money to do it. Usually, we're the ones offering the money. So,
But I'm saying,
yeah, without a
I,
hesitation, I would.
because I'm thinking like if I'm a hairstylist, I guess I don't know how much a hairstylist makes working on one of these shows, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm a hairstylist, and what be offering me 1.5 million? Yeah, I'm going. I'm going. That's life changing money.
That
And
is life changing money.
I'm telling her, I put that. I need straight cash because I ain't gonna be no
I,
taxes. We keeping this off the records, baby.
true.
Off
I
the
mean,
records.
it. Yeah, you could hide 1.5 million. You ain't got to just use it all right away. But
All
yeah,
right.
that's
Skip can
not.
write that
Yeah,
off.
I mean, I
He can
was
write that
like,
off
look,
says
we could do
tax write
this.
off.
Uh, we do it once a month, 1.5, or once a year,
Exactly.
if you would be okay with that.
Exactly. I but shoot, I can't fault her for saying no because
no,
again,
because
so
it's a different situation for us.
or yeah, different situation, right? She's a woman, sexual harassed,
Yeah,
and Skip Bayless. I mean, I'm not faulting her at all, or make fun of her. I'm just saying a different scenario. If it was Whoopi, I'm going. But I digress. So, continue on with the story. It says a week later, Skip tried to get with her again. And again, she told Skip to stop. And she was like, "You have a wife, don't you?" And then she goes, "Skip, stop. You have a wife." Skip response to that, now, this shit is wild right here. Skip response to that was, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have three or four wives?"
oh wow,
How, what?
wow.
Uh,
Wow, Skip. So he was sexually harassing this, paying her for
mhm.
sex, and then also got
Practically,
kind of a little bit racist on there.
very much
Got
so.
very racist.
Very much so.
This is not painting Skip in none of the good lights. None of the good
Yeah.
lights. Oh wow.
Um, and then after that, I missed my note. Yeah, so he said, "Does your dad have three or four wives?" And she responded, "Oh, I don't. I lost it in my notes. I'm sorry, people. I lost that part of my notes."
Hey,
But
we
she was
still
like,
getting on this.
"Yeah." So she and others. So apparently, there's other people also was getting sexually harassed at Fox Sports. So
Yeah, I'm not surprised now.
she and other women made multiple complaints to Human Resources and Employees Relationships departments. Instead of addressing their concerns, Fox retaliated against them, while the perpetrator and those who protected them impeccably got promoted. So they complained, and Fox did
Mm,
nothing about
yeah, that
it.
sounds pretty much on point. Unfortunately, yeah, that
Yeah.
does really suck for her. That she got put in that position, and not once but multiple times it seems. Um,
Yes.
yeah, she has every right to file a lawsuit at this point. Hopefully, this does do something, but most likely, isn't it ESPN? That's a network they work for.
No, they was working for Fox Sports.
Fox Sports. Most likely, Fox
Yeah.
Sports will, give them some money to try to get this to go away a little faster, or at least to get out the news cycle. So the worst thing I see happen is Skip do a public apology, um, and say sorry. But the
Yep.
most positive thing for her is she's gonna get some money. And I don't say it like, yeah, she getting that money. No, she hopefully she's not gonna get a lot of justice because they not gonna arrest Skip for solicitation or sexual harassment at work. He gonna do apology. They gonna be like, look, you gonna be not on the air for a couple of days or something like that. And then he gonna be back to business. Unfortunately.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but Skip, he's not. He doesn't work there anymore. That was he
Oh,
stopped
really?
working there. So after the show, because remember him and Shannon Sharp was doing Undisputed together. Um,
Yeah.
once once Shannon left, Skip tried to go on with the show by having like different special guests on there, but the show
Okay.
wasn't hidden like it used to, and the ratings
Mm.
were down. So then Skip stepped down. So Skip has not been working at Fox for a few months now,
Oh,
even
wow. Okay.
before even before this lawsuit came out.
Oh, okay.
Also, a
Mm.
side note: Skip thought that the hairstylist Nosheen was sleeping with Shannon Sharp, and the reason why the show broke up because you saw Skip and Shannon was like butting heads on air.
Yeah.
So I think that I don't think that also played a part with Skip
Mm.
and that hairstylist because he kept accusing her of sleeping with Shannon, and she was like, "No, me and Shannon have never done anything. I'm not sleeping with him." And he was like, "Yes, you are. You doing it, yada yada yada." So yeah,
So was he more jealous that he wasn't getting to sleep with her? Like that's weird.
yes, yes, and that's probably why he offered again. That's why he
Wow.
offered 1.5 million. That's
Dirty, dirty old man. Oh.
yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Hey,
that's
I,
wild.
I got to mention this because it's a reference to my favorite movie of all time, Harlem Nights. It's a scene where Richard Pryor, Rare Fox, and I can't remember the lady name, but she was more or less like a pimp, and she had these women, and she had this one woman named Sunshine, and she was so good, you flip it up in the air and it turns to sun. So the internet was saying she must have some good because
Yeah.
she, he really
It's
paid
gotta be some
1.5
killer
million.
stuff, boy.
So,
Man,
yeah,
yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a
yeah,
lot of money to be throwing out there. So it's gotta be that killer. Ooh,
yeah. And he ain't
dang.
even had it. So
Yeah. He just
that's
the thought
crazy.
about it. Just the thought
Yeah.
about it, I'll pay a million. Jeez. Ah, dang, Skip. I'm not. I can't say I'm surprised. Can't say I'm surprised. I am surprised how aggressive he seemed to be going after her. Um,
Mhm.
but since he don't work there no more, they really can't do nothing to him. So
Yeah.
hopefully she wins this lawsuit and gets some kind of justice for herself. Because damn, that man is
Mhm.
tripping.
Yes.
Wow. Oh wow. Okay. So that was the first part of your
Mm.
story, right?
Yes. I'll I'll get to the second part later.
Well, I'm dropping my phone. We're gonna come back to the second part of the story in a second. Now we're gonna hit you with some superhero news. So, superhero news. First thing up, Supergirl is in the process of filming. They just started this week. They're gonna be filming the movie, and I don't even know if I told you guys who's playing Supergirl. The woman name
Yes.
is Millie Alcox. She is she actually was on the House of the Dragon. She was the younger version of it's not is it Daenerys? I forget. Let me look at it right quick. But she would play the younger version of that character in the first couple episodes. Spoilers for people who haven't watched the first season of House of the Dragon. Um, well, they're starting to film Supergirl, um, and it is the kind of second movie for the new DCU going forward with James Gunn at the lead. And it's gonna be interesting to come out with both your two superheroes, first two superhero movies, technically being Superman and Supergirl. It's a interesting way to come out the door. Even though you do have Creature Commandos, which actually had their season finale, that's wrapped up. That was pretty decent. It was okay. I think they kind of muffed it towards the end. But overall story, I think it was good. That being your first James Gunn DCU anything piece of content for DCU was pretty decent. Your second piece is going to be the Superman, and then you're going to have Supergirl. So we'll see what happens with that. I am interested in seeing the story they're adapting for this movie. It is based off the Supergirl comic book. I think it's called Woman of Tomorrow, and I don't know the story. I didn't read that comic book, but I heard somebody talk about it, and they say ultimately the story is Supergirl is flying through space, searching for something, and she teams up with another woman to fight some dude. I think I could be butchering this horribly, so it is what it is. But I am interested to see what they do with the movie. Um, we know they're gonna have Lobo, but there's also talks that Supergirl might make an appearance in the Superman movie first. So we might get to see her in that first before we see her in her actual movie, which would kind of be smart. It would kind of be like a Marvel thing because that's what Marvel did. They kind of give you a glance of a superhero that's coming up before they get to their movie. You'll see him in somebody else's movie, a little peek at them. So that's going to be interesting to see if they do that. The Superman movie is already very crowded as is. They have a lot of people in it. So I don't know if they're doing too much too quickly with that hero. I think they should build up, let you get to know this new Superman first and then know all the new characters. But this is what they chose to do. So we have to see what they do with that. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, the Supergirl movie, on how they do it. Um, and I think this is the first time, well, the second time Supergirl's had her own movie, live action movie too. So that
Oh,
will
word.
be. She had one. I think she had one in like the 80s. No,
Okay.
close to the 80s. I think the first Supergirl movie was, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't great. So it wasn't great,
One
but
bad. One bad,
Daenerys.
but one
So
great.
she so it was kind of middle of the road compared to the Superman movie, because that's what
Yeah,
you're stacking it up against. Like once you do a
right.
Supergirl, you're gonna go, well, how Superman movie? Stacking it up against the first Superman movie, it it's not mediocre, but it left a lot to be wanted. Like it was decent start, but I think they could have did more. But at that time, that's what they gave us, so we had to take it.
So,
But I just
if I,
figured out the other girl's name in the show. Her name is Rhaenyra. She plays a younger version of Rhaenyra in the House of the Dragon. Go ahead. What was that?
just want to say the first Supergirl movie came out in 1984.
Oh, the year I was born.
Yeah.
Year both of we were born. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
yeah.
do not recognize any of these people's names that was in this movie.
Yeah, I don't think the lady that played Supergirl did a lot after that. Um, I don't remember seeing her in a lot of stuff. Um, so I don't think the movie did that well because they didn't make a sequel. So that's a big sign. It didn't do as good as they thought it was do. But yeah, this would be the second live action Supergirl movie. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm trying to give James Gunn a chance with the new DCU. I don't know. I think they're calling it DC Studio, or I don't know if they're calling. They need to name it because we got the MCU. We got a name for that. We need a name. And the
Hmm.
last time DC was doing their thing, they never named it. Fans just named it. So I need them to make a name for it so we can call it that and have a definite name. Like we like naming stuff. Come on, do that,
Right.
DC.
Yeah.
Get on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
that's
that
part of
is
being that's a part of being a fan. Like you have names for
exactly
things.
because
Because
we're gonna
uh,
talk about it. So we need names to talk about.
right. Because like for me, I'm into sneaker culture. So when a pair of shoes come up with a name of it. We don't call it
Yeah,
the black and red Jordans because if you call that, you can be talking about any damn shoe. Because
exactly.
you have certain names, you have names for shoes.
Very true.
So,
Very true.
which sad note, I just want to throw this in right quick. Sad note. Speaking of that, my girlfriend she gets upset because on the shoe boxes it has the color of the shoe and it doesn't have the name that we call the shoe or
Yeah.
what the shoe's called, and that frustrates her so much because then she can never find which pair of shoes she's looking for. So then I have
So
to
like,
always do it for her.
I wonder why they don't do that. Why don't they put the name? Do they put the name of the shoe on shoe boxes sometimes?
Nope, they just
It's
put
just the color.
well, I'll say the color. Like some shoes, like I have one pair of shoes that's called They're the PG5s. That's the fifth shoe came out of Paul George, but that specific shoe is the PlayStation shoe, but it doesn't say PlayStation on the box. It say
Mm.
PG5, and it has a colorway.
See,
So
seems like the shoe
she
companies need to do it too.
yeah, especially for her because she gets upset all the time, every weekend. She's not a fit.
Understandable. They're not following the rules. They're not following the rules. They gave us rules and did not follow them. So I can understand why she's frustrated. I would be frustrated too. Um,
Yeah.
but that is my first piece of superhero news.
I have one question for you. Um, why do you think
What's
it
that?
took so? I mean, of course, it's kind of a rhetorical question, but why do you think it took so long for them to come out with a second live action Supergirl movie, seeing that the first one was in '84?
So I think they never really knew what to do with her.
Okay.
Like they really don't know what to do with Superman. A lot of the
Uh,
movies don't know what to do with Superman because he's so powerful. He has very few weaknesses, and it's hard to some people feel it's hard to make a compelling movie with this character, being he's so strong and all this. It's so easy to do with Batman because you know he's just a human and he's going on will. Like
Yeah.
it's easier to make a Batman movie because you have so much to work with. With Superman, you have so little to work with have him have a formidable villain that is captivating, yet understanding you can see his weakness against Superman and have a reason for Superman not to beat him so fast because he's Superman. Like
Mm-hmm.
Superman, you can beat him real fast. Batman villains, you get to play with the detective aspect of Batman. You get to have him follow clues to get to that person, beat underlings up, and all that. You have a system to do with that for Batman. You don't have a set system like that for Superman that works in a 2 to 2.5 hour movie that makes it compelling, telling that
Yeah.
story for that character. His biggest story is the whole origin story of him when he first comes
Yeah.
to Kansas, and you can't just keep telling that story over and over again. They've told that story at least 3 to 4 times. You don't want to see that story anymore. So it's hard to get into his stories that his greatest stories are the ones when you first find out about him, and then the ones where he almost dies or he does die.
Okay.
The middle stories are okay, but they're not as impelling, and people want that, unfortunately. And a lot of writers feel it's difficult to make a very deep story for Superman. It's possible, just haven't had that writer and that director to crack that code. So we're gonna see with this new Superman if it does crack that code and they can do it with that, because there
Mm-hmm.
is a good Superman story out there. And it just time will tell if we ever get it and someone puts
Yeah.
it down on film so we can see it. Like the animated series or the animated movies, they make really good stories. And a lot of times I'm like, why doesn't DC just adapt their animated movies into live action? Honestly, or get those animated movie writers to write a live action. Um, I don't get to make those decisions. I don't get to pay those kind of bucks, so I don't get to make
Right.
those decisions. Unfortunately, I just get to watch the stuff they put out and tell them, "Hey, this wasn't great. Try again." Um, but for Supergirl, she was in. They had a Supergirl version in the Flash movie where they
Okay.
took, and unfortunately, it was a kind of a cheat. They did. It was actually a Superman storyline that they gave her in that movie and shoehorned her in there, which wasn't great for her, but it did get
Mm-hmm.
people to see that character. So that's a positive, but she has stories that you can do. And she has a totally different origin story you can tell from Superman because she actually was like almost an adult when Krypton exploded, I believe. Or she went off into space as a child and grew up. Like she was a little older than Superman, but she went
Mm-hmm.
out into space and like lived out in space, I believe, before she actually came to planet Earth and found Superman and they rejoined. Like apparently this is some stories she is his cousin, some stories they're like just neighbors or something. So they're technically family too. So
Uh-huh.
which is weird. Our planet blows up and we're the only two and we're family. That's comics for you, baby, right there. But yeah, it's she like most of her stuff has been in comic books and like TV shows here and there and a couple films. Like she hasn't really had a lot of solo movies or other projects besides comic books. But I
Yeah.
think this is another way to get more women fans excited about the new DC,
Right.
because she's a female character. She's strong. As long as they do her in a good way, it should come off pretty good.
All right. Two things. One, do you think that this Supergirl movie, do you think it'll be able have the potential to do what Wonder Woman did?
I don't know. That Wonder Woman showed you lightning in a bottle. That
Yeah.
first Wonder Woman is very well put together.
Hmm.
From the writers, from the director, even from Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman, it was really lightning in a bottle. They did a really good job at the time period they went with, the kind of princess angles they went with her, because she is a princess of I never can pronounce the island she's from. She's the Amazonian princess, but they also like kind of use Little Mermaid princess things in that, like Disney princess stuff in that Wonder Woman movie
Okay.
that you didn't even notice until people pointed it out to me, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that is there. um and you can tell how it was lightning in a bottle, because their second movie, garbage, hot
Mm.
garbage, because they
Okay.
fired a lot of the people that worked on that first one. They didn't let them
Hmm.
come back and work on that second one, and I think that really hurt them. And that second
Yeah.
movie's hot garbage, and you can see how that first movie was just so special. I don't know if they can do that with this Supergirl, because it's a different kind of origin story, and you're telling a
Hmm.
whole different story where you can't go about it with the fish out of water, because a little bit of Wonder Woman was a fish out of water story too. With this story, I don't think you can go that route and have those different elements. It's more of a buddy cop in space kind of movie, it feels like, with women. And so you have to keep them be empowered, but not make it easy to where they're what do they call it, a Martha Stewart or a Susie. There's some phrase they call it where certain women characters in movies also can do everything. It's a
Hmm.
saving Sue or something like that. I forget the name of it. So you don't want to do that, but you want to make her strong, but you want to make her to be able to be beat, but still be able to overcome being beat, like have a
Right.
diversity to challenges. So it's a hard balance to do. I don't know if they're going to get close to that first one. That first Wonder Woman is a great movie. It is a
Yeah.
great movie. So I don't know if they're going to reach that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Also, and then I just got a statement. So you mentioned Superman and Kansas, right?
Yeah.
Because he's I'm calling Cal. Superman is not from Kansas. He's from my home state, Illinois, Metropolis, Illinois, which is in southern Illinois.
So
Um,
he
we,
crashed
we
in Kansas.
I don't care. Wait, hey, I don't care. Wait, he's from Metropolis, Illinois, southern Illinois. They got a whole statue. I seen it myself. I've been there. Uh, and it says in June of 1972, uh, Illinois House of Representatives and DC Comics, owner of the copyright to Superman Metropolis, Illinois, was officially declared the home of Superman in June of 1972. So
So I
I
think if I might be wrong, but I think that's where the guys that created Superman lived. I think
okay.
that's
I mean,
where they were from.
hey, I'm not questioning you. You know more than I know about the topic, but I'm just saying I've been to Metro.
I could
I've been into Illinois. I'm just saying, whole statue, stores, phone booths, and everything. Got it
understand,
all.
understandable, understandable.
If it wasn't from my, if it wasn't in my home state, I wouldn't care. I'm just saying. So
Understandable. You gotta
yeah,
rep your city. I get it. I
yeah,
get
yeah.
it. All right. So what's your second
Oh,
sports
okay.
story for us?
Okay, this my sec. I'm going to do the second part of the lawsuit with no
Okay.
shooting. So this time we're going to talk about Joy Taylor, and you know what? I'm after I'm done. I'm gonna let let you and the audience judge for yourself about Joy and her character.
Yeah, I
So,
heard some stuff.
so again, all this
Yes.
alleged. Okay, alleged. So one day, Joy asked Nosheen to meet her out for drinks. Nosheen agreed. When Nosheen got to the restaurant, she found Joy with an older man, Fox Sports executive, vice president of content, Charlie Dixon. Now remember, Charlie Dixon was the one who grabbed Nosheen's butt at
Mm-hmm.
Joy's birthday party. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so as an executive vice president, Charlie is responsible for overseeing all the content and production on Fox Sports One. Following the night, whenever following that night when Joy and Nasheen went out for drinks the first time, whenever Nosheen would meet with Joy for drinks or food, Charlie would either arrive with Joy or show up late in the night and leave with Joy. So Joy, so
Suspicious.
it said lawsuit Joy was just like a, and more or less it was saying Joy was a nobody. It was like she was just a bartender, like she was a nobody around there. So it's alleged that Charlie gave Joy the hosting job on Undisputed as a reward because she was having sex with him.
Okay.
So, so moving along. Again, Nosheen and Joy are still friends at this time. One time, Joy and Nosheen, asked to meet up for lunch. But this time, Nosheen found Joy with a man, Emmanuel Ocho. Emmanuel Ocho is a host on another television show that airs on Fox Sports Network.
Okay. I know
Okay,
him. Yeah.
right. Okay. No, she didn't know who Emmanuel was when she first saw him, but she can tell that him and Joy was sleeping with each other. Okay. A few months later, Nosheen saw Emmanuel in a hallway at Fox Sports. Nosheen asked Joy if he worked there. Joy said yeah and explained that she wanted Emmanuel to eventually recommend her on the talk show Speak for Yourself. Nosheen became alarmed and warned Joy that she probably should not be sleeping with Charlie, the vice president of the company,
Mm-hmm.
and Emmanuel at the same time. Since Charlie is a powerful man and may get angry, Joy told her not to worry because she's powerful too. Once Charlie was no longer useful to her, this is Joy talking. Once Charlie is no longer useful to her, she will follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her and that she would not allow herself to be forced out by Charlie like other women.
Mm. That
Joy
is
is
diabolical.
diabolical, diabolical. Because
Yeah.
what
Oh wow.
you're you're sleeping with this powerful man in the company to get positions. You're also sleeping with other men at Fox Sports that also get position on other TV shows. I mean, that part in itself, if that's what you're doing and if it's working, fine. The problem I have is when she said
Yeah.
once they're not useful, you go lie and say that he forced himself on you. That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
That's where I have the issue. Like
Yeah,
that's unnecessary. You ain't gotta do that to people. Um,
right.
this man trying to have a career. That's unnecessary right there. Like I get it. Do what you got to do to further your career. You got to sleep with people to further your career. Is that your choice, and you want to do that? Cool. I'm not taking shots at you. They allow it. You okay with it? You doing what you doing. We adults. You made an adult decision. But then
Also,
to
also,
lie, that's another thing.
when she first got to Fox, she was married at the time. Also, so
Oh,
what?
so now
Yeah,
you making
So
adultery.
yeah, she admitted. Yes, her husband had eventually found out, and they got a divorce. But yes, she was married while she was sleeping with these men at the network. So,
Joe, I gotta look at you in a different light now.
yeah,
Like if you were single doing that, hey, do your thing. But you
right.
were married, ma'am. That is wrong.
So wrong.
Unless you and your husband talked about it, it was like, this is how I'm gonna further my career, and he was like, cool, do your thing. I'm good with that.
Go ahead, do you? Yeah, that wasn't the case.
That
was not the case.
You was a liar.
Liar, and that's and another thing. Like by her saying that she was gonna lie and say that he forced himself onto her. She make stuff like that makes it difficult for women who actually go through it, aka the woman who filed the lawsuit, No Sheen. It makes it difficult for them because the naysayers like, oh, women lie all the time, blah blah blah. Like that's true, but that doesn't mean that's all women, and that women get sexually harassed all the time. Like and for her that's like diabolical.
Yeah. Oh wow. So Joy out here wilding.
Skip wilding.
I seen something that did Shannon Sharp say like I want to touch something or something? Shannon said something about he ain't touching this when this stuff came out.
I know he ain't. He got a good thing going for him.
Exactly.
Or Shannon had an interest in last year too.
Yeah, he had his little weird scandal.
He had his scandal. Boy, come on. Okay. So I'll speak on that for a little bit. I don't have IG myself personally. I don't have it. But from what I've heard, you cannot accidentally go live on IG. You got to push a few buttons in order to go live on AG. And my opinion, the reason why Shannon did that, and I think the culture will agree with this statement, the reason why Shannon did that is to fight them gay allegations.
But did they really fight them? Because I didn't hear the actual thing, but I heard people say that it could have still been two men. So he wasn't really fighting any allegations. I heard.
I get it was a video, and all you heard was audio. You didn't see anything.
Exactly.
You heard audio. But I think the reason why he did that is to fight those gay allegations, which I don't remember how it started. I don't know who.
Oh, it started with that when he was doing that wine tour and he was in that green outfit.
Oh yeah, and he stepped off the car. Oh yeah,
I remember the TikToks of that. Oh, they was going crazy.
For a while, on Club Station, he kept wearing them tight ass pants. Yeah.
The TikToks after that was wild. It was crazy. Oh, that was crazy. I was laughing my butt off on that.
As soon as you said it, I saw the video in my head. Yeah. That wasn't a good look.
But yes, it is very difficult to accidentally go live on Instagram. There's like at least 2 to 3 buttons you got to push for it to happen, and they're not all in the same spot. So it is quite difficult to go live on accident like that, especially if you're in the midst of activities.
Right.
So, but either way it go, it gave him great promotion. Great promotion.
Oh, for sure.
It's the reason why I'm seeing him pushing these little red pills now. So he clearly did what it needed to do.
and
after a whole new audience, new products to sell. So
and after that video came out, everybody was trying to figure out who Michelle was. And that was a whole nother crazy thing in itself. I was like,
Yeah.
y'all wow. Internet is
So
crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, he capitalized on that accidental mistake. So touche to him. Touche to him.
Accidental in quotations, yes.
Yeah, y'all can't see us. We holding quotes up. So I can't be mad at him. Flip a negative to a positive and make money off of it. Touche, my guy. Touche.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
touche.
Hey, he wasn't putting the skip. He said, I ain't paying 1.5. I'll just make my own video and post it.
He said, I will make my own video and get paid 1.5. That's how
Right?
we're gonna do it over here.
Monetize it.
Between that and then the Cat Williams thing, his spot did blow up in a positive way for him.
Yes.
So he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. Him and Ocho be doing their little show. I don't mean to say it like a little show. Y'all doing y'all thing.
Well,
I wish my little show was as big as y'all little show.
Well, hold up. That's funny you mentioned that. Our next episode, I might have a story about that in itself.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
I won't speak on it now. I got to do some more research. But I saw something yesterday. I'm like, oh, okay. Right before we started playing basketball last night, I saw something. So
okay, so stay tuned for that episode 3. We got some Ocho and Shannon Sharp news, possibly. So look forward to that. Okay. Right. So let me hit.
You got?
So my second piece of superhero news. So the Daredevil Born Again trailer came out. If you don't know Daredevil, I just blanked on his name. It'll come to me in a second once I figure his actual name. But Daredevil is a superhero who's a blind lawyer who had an accident as a child, was able to enhance his senses. So now he can, it's not radar, like sonic radar, but it's like he can hear very well to where he can map out a room and map out where people are. His senses are super heightened in his smell, his touch, all that. And he fights criminals in what they call Hell's Kitchen in New York. So he's a lawyer by day, crime fighter by night. He had his own Netflix show called Daredevil. And when Disney, they leased out Daredevil to Netflix. So when Netflix made the show, they did it, but then Disney got all their rights back for their characters and stuff, or most of their characters, and they're reprising the show. They're bringing it back with the same cast. I'm pretty sure it's the same cast as at the Netflix show, but Daredevil's already been on Disney Plus. He was in the She-Hulk show with a new costume, looked really cool. Slept with She-Hulk too, so that was crazy. Especially for Disney. This is Disney at this time when he slept with She-Hulk.
You can't do that on the Mouse Network. What's going on?
The mouse is getting loose. The mouse is out here getting loose. But I watched the trailer, and I'm not gonna lie, it looked good. The trailer looked good. It's that good fighting scenes. It's kind of bloody, which you wasn't expecting from Disney to be that bloody, but they're taking a risk. Like you've seen Wolverine and Deadpool, it's not that level of bloody, which was super bloody, but it's still pretty bloody for the Disney Channel, Disney Plus, and everything. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be R-rated. So parents got child locks on there, so the kids can't watch it. So hopefully you're adult, you can watch it. Blah 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 that. But it looks good. I watched the trailer; it looks really good, and it seems like it's picking up the story right from the last season of Daredevil on Netflix, which is season 3. I think they had 3 seasons. I watched the first 2 seasons, really good show. The third season I kind of watched and then I let go. So I might have to go back and watch that season, which is on Disney Plus anyway, so I can watch it to catch up for this new season. Come out in March 4th is coming out. I think they said around 12 episodes, so it's not the Disney's normal 8 episodes. I think it's 12, so almost double the episodes, giving more time to flush out the story. but I am Matt Murdock. That's his name. It was killing me. I was thinking about it the whole time. So Daredevil's name is Matt Murdock. He's back. Kingpin is back. Played by what is his name? I forgot his name. Is D'Onofrio? Something D'Onofrio. I remember his last name. But he's a really good Kingpin. He's very menacing, terrifying. He does a good job in the role. So I'm really excited to see him come back as Kingpin. He was in the Marvel's TV show Hawkeye had. I think it's Hawkeye. He had a show where he was on there for a little bit. So he's been in the new MCU to an extent. So it's not like a surprise to see him here. But the Daredevil show looks like it's going to be really good. I'm going to be there. Eventually, we will get you we might do some reviews of the episodes here and there in future podcasts. See, I'm putting out in the future that we're going to make it that long. That's in March, guys. That's in March. That is
Hey,
a month or two away. So I'm putting
I
out there that
love
we're
it.
going to make it that long.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely go check out the trailer. It's really good. And I'm excited to see the next chapter of Daredevil. I was never a huge Daredevil fan back in the day. I thought he was decent, but the Netflix show has made me a fan of his, and them continuing that story. All for. Oh, I think Punisher's in it too. Yeah, Frank Castle's in it too. So they have a lot of different people in this. So definitely something to go check out when it comes out in March 4th. Put that on you guys' radar. There was something else I seen. What did I see? Oh, besides that, Captain America 4 is starting to put their ticket sales out. So they're starting to get an idea of what kind of money that movie might make. And it's coming in about the same amount of every other Marvel movies, like first movie in their trilogies. So like Iron Man, Thor, the first Captain America. It's starting to hit around those kind of numbers. So that's a positive thing because technically this is the first Captain America where Anthony Mackie's Falcon is a new Captain America. Is it what is his name? I'm blanking. Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson is Captain America, so this is technically his first solo movie as Captain America. So it's tracking very well, like a normal first Marvel movie of that character. So that's a positive thing. Only time to tell is see if it does really well, and is this the bounce back Marvel needs? They got Deadpool, Wolverine made $1 billion last year, but they also had what other movie they had come out? I think they only had one movie come out in 2024. Let me double check, but I think they only had one movie come out in 2024, and it was yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they only had one movie, I believe, in 2020. Unless I'm Guardians of the Galaxy, I think came out. I think that did come out. I'm looking on the internet. Internet's not moving fast enough to tell me. And we're not counting the Sony Marvel movies. We're not counting those. God, no, we're not counting those.
She
Those are
said that
bad.
did
They're
not
just
happen.
bad. Only ones that are good are the actual Spider-Man ones. Those are the only ones that are good. Because Venom's not good. Craven was horrible. What if
I didn't even know who Buddy was. I'm like
he's a
Craven.
good
What is this?
character, but he's not a character that should have his own movie like that.
Yeah.
Without Spider-Man, that's the thing. It's without Spider-Man. But yeah, I
Oh,
think
he's from Spider Man. I was saying.
yeah, he's a Spider-Man villain. He's a
Yeah.
mostly all the Sony movies are Spider-Man villain because that's the character they have. They own
Okay.
Spider-Man's rights and they let him be in the MCU and kind of join with them, but all his other characters they don't let join, so it's weird.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, I think this might be a turn for Marvel where they get back to kind of dominating, where their movies are dominating and their shows are dominating because they decided to slow down on how many projects they put out a year. Because at one point they were putting out almost 4 movies a year and then start hitting it with shows as well. And I think they were just putting out too many pieces of content. So they slowed down and being more focused. I mean, it didn't help during the pandemic. They had a lot of content they were sitting on, so they didn't want to sit on it too long. But now that they can slowly let stuff out, I think they got a better idea of how to do stuff. I think they're going to have 2 movies this year, Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts. And I think they're going to have 3 shows. They're going to have the Daredevil show. They're going to have the Ironheart show. And I think they're going to have Eyes of Wakanda show, which is an animated show. They might have one more too. They're gonna have the zombies, Marvel Zombies show. So they might still be overdoing it with shows. So we'll see. I know they were supposed to have Armor Wars that was pushed up to a movie. It was a show, got pushed up to a movie. So that might get pulled. I think they might have canceled that altogether. So yeah, go check out the trailer. Let us know what you think. Hit us in the comments on all our social medias. It'll be down in the description. Let me know what you think of the trailer. I thought it was really good. I'm excited for it. 100%.
Yeah. Well, I'll be looking forward. I would say one of my goals is try to watch more superhero movies. My problem is those movies is like 2 hours long, and I tend to fall asleep. So it takes me a few times to get through them. But I will say, I got through the Wolverine. I did get through the Wolverine Deadpool movie all the way through first try because it kept me entertained, even though I didn't know what the hell was going on and part of the movie. But yeah, I liked it. It was a good movie. It's a good movie. So I'm trying to do that because. Man, Transformers, the second one, boy, it took me so many times to watch that movie because I kept falling asleep.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. I can understand that. The Transformers it's dense. It's very dense. So I can understand that. Don't get into Dune. Dune is super dense. Ooh, Dune is crazy. It's super crazy. So don't get into Dune. Yeah, don't get into Dune. But that is the second superhero story of the day. I think we're going to try to do one more quick story. Try to do it quick. So, Marcus, go ahead with your next sports story.
I'm just going to wrap it up with some NFL playoff news. So this past weekend, we just had the wild card. The first game was the LA Chargers versus the Houston Texans. That game was a blowout. Houston Texans won 32-12.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. I didn't watch no football this weekend because
I watched a little bit.
That was Saturday. And then also this past Saturday, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens won that game 28-14.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, you had the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos. A blowout win for Buffalo. They won 31-7.
Yeah.
And then if I was going to watch any game over the weekend, it would have been this game just because of my dislike for the Green Bay Packers. But the Philadelphia Eagles beat Green Bay 22-10. I tried to tell the Packer fans I know that they was going to take an L, but none of them want to listen. And I had to give crap to my barber this morning when I saw him. I asked him if he was okay, and he looked at me confused. I was like, you know what I'm talking about, that practice game. He was like, oh man. And then I realized I should not have been talking shit because he still had to cut my hair. But he didn't do me wrong. Shout out to my barber.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then it's Sunday night. We had the Washington Commanders versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Washington won that 23-20, which was the best game over the weekend.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
heard. I heard it was a really good
yeah,
game. Came down to a
it
field goal.
was last second field goal that I believe hit the pole and went
Yeah,
in.
the doink field goal I heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no field goal that went in. Shout out to Washington Commanders and Jay Daniels, rookie quarterback.
He
Kid's
killing. I
playing
hear
well.
he doing good. He
He's
looks so
playing very well.
skinny. I was like, he gonna get hurt.
Boy, I don't know. Like I said, I saw very little, but I saw one play. He's going out of bounds. That boy got hit. He went in the air and flew back a few yards out of bounds. He got hit.
Mm.
And then the last game over the weekend was Monday. The Rams, shockingly, I didn't think the outcome of this game would be like this, but the LA Rams beat up on the Minnesota Vikings 27-9.
Yeah, I heard about that. I was surprised. The Vikings was
Yeah.
playing good this year.
Yeah, they were. Let's see. The Vikings lost 4 games this year. They lost to the LA Rams twice, and they lost to the Detroit Lions twice.
So clearly the Rams knew how to beat them.
Yes.
But the game I watched was the Ravens and
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Steelers.
Yeah, I watched that game. And like they was just in charge the whole time. So the Ravens was like, look, we just got to get over this speed bump. Not saying Steelers aren't a great team. You guys are a good team, but this year y'all, it wasn't for y'all.
Look at you being diplomatic.
Hey, you never know where a fan of the show might be a fan of a sports team.
I appreciate it because somebody asked. Don't nobody in the comments ask me what's my sports team in the NFL.
Your Bears are doing.
I'm not going to talk about it. All right, so wrapping this thing up this weekend, we have Saturday at 3:30. We have the Houston Texans versus the Kansas City Chiefs. A lot of people want to see Kansas City lose because they're tired of the Chiefs winning and Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes and all that. So
let these men do what they do. They're playing good. I mean, they're not winning by a lot. Most of the games is a close game. They're just finding a way to win, it seems.
Yes. I'm taking Kansas City because Patrick Mahomes. Sounds on the outside, so Patrick Mahomes is a really good quarterback. And
he really is.
And somehow he can get Kansas City to Super Bowl and they win again. It'll be the first time that a team won 3 Super Bowls in a row. It's never been done before.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I think you have to put him in a conversation with Tom Brady. Sure, Tom Brady has like 7 Super Bowl rings, but to win 3 in a row in the NFL and it's never been done, that's saying something.
They almost went undefeated this season too, didn't they?
Yeah, they start off high. They've had a lot of injuries. Everybody got hurt, even Patrick, even Mahomes. So that game's at 3:30 Saturday, and then Saturday night you have the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. They play at 7 p.m. Saturday. I'm rooting for Detroit, NFC North. One of my brothers is from Detroit, so go Lions. Even though I like Jay Daniels, but and then Sunday afternoon at 2:00, you have the LA Rams versus the Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles. Yeah, I like
Saquon is doing crazy good this year.
Yeah, I like Jalen Hurts. But Eagles, they have some issues. We'll see what happens. But and then Sunday evening, which I think this is the game of the weekend to me. The Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. Now this is
Yeah,
going to be a good one.
yeah.
I don't know who to win. I want Baltimore to win because I'm a Lamar Jackson fan and I like Derrick Henry. But
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen's that dude.
Playing good
He's that
too.
dude.
He playing
And
real good.
I think the MVP race is between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is the game of the weekend to me. It should be a great game. I Nope, I probably won't watch that game because I'll be at a party. No, that's Sunday. No, I will watch the game. That'll probably be the only game I watch this weekend for football.
So they played each other this year already, right?
Oh, I think so.
I think the Bills won.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I'm not sure. I would have to.
I mean, and do you know when the MVP announcement comes out?
I do not. I would think.
Because I know they don't. If Lamar wins it, this would be his third, right? Or
Correct.
second? Yeah. So his third
Honestly,
time.
uh, uh, I I think I'm not sure when the MVP is announced, but I would think if it doesn't come out this week and it's after this weekend, the MVP will probably be whoever wins this game between Baltimore. The NFL MVP award will be announced February 6th.
Oh
So
wow.
the week, the week of the Super Bowl, right?
But
I
isn't it
believe.
only like
Like
the actual season, not the playoffs as well? Or is the playoffs
that.
counted in to
I mean,
MVP?
technically the MVP is the NFL season, but
Okay.
because they don't announce it so late
Yeah.
and until February 6th, I think whoever wins between Baltimore and Buffalo, that's who's going to get the MVP. That's just my
Yeah.
guess.
Okay. That makes
That's yeah.
sense.
But yeah, it should be a good football weekend. If you're into that, yeah, Buffalo and Baltimore is the game to watch, in my opinion. That should be a real good one. But also, side note before I wrap this up, whoever wins that game, though, assuming that Kansas City beats Houston, whoever wins between Baltimore and Buffalo will play. I believe Kansas. If Kansas City wins, we'll play the Chiefs next.
Mm.
And neither Lamar or Josh Allen has beaten Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Oh,
Josh
really?
Allen,
Okay.
Josh Allen came really close,
Wow.
really close, but didn't quite. But he lost. They lost that game in overtime because the Chiefs got the ball first, and Buffalo and they scored a touchdown on their first possession.
Mm.
So Buffalo never got the ball back, which is then after that playoff game, then the NFL changed the rules, the overtime rules in the playoffs, where both
So
teams get the ball.
I seen one team in the overtime situation score, but I think they ran the clock out
Hmm.
because you got like 10 minutes, a 10-minute half, and I
Yeah.
think they ran the clock out or quarter, and I think they ran the clock out and then scored. So
So
maybe
yeah,
that's how they did it. Okay.
the overtime rules for the regular season and the playoffs are different.
Okay.
During the regular season, it's whoever scores first, and the playoffs because after that Buffalo Bills Kansas City Chiefs game when I went overtime, now it's both teams gets opportunity to score. So
Okay. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. Because they did score a touchdown, so maybe that's how they won. Okay. And it was a regular season game. Okay. That
yep.
makes sense.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's it for the sports portion. What you
All
got?
right. So let's wrap this up with the superheroes real quick. I'm trying to make this quick, but it's a little bit of a deep story. So Marvel, there's rumors that they have decided to recast Black Panther, aka T'Challa, better
What?
known from the actor Chadwick Boseman's amazing performance of him. They've decided to recast him. Here's the thing: they've already killed the MCU T'Challa in movie. They've killed that character in movie. So, being that right now MCU Marvel Universe is doing a lot of Elseworld stories and doing a lot of dimensions and having different characters from different dimensions, as some of you might know, Tony Stark, aka Robert Downey Jr., is coming back to play Doom, but it's not the Tony Stark that we know. It's another dimension Tony Stark. So the rumor is that they will recast T'Challa. We thought they were going to age T'Challa's spoilers if you haven't seen Black Panther Forever or Wakanda
I,
Forever. Um,
I haven't. But go ahead.
okay, so we're gonna spoil this for Marcus. That's his fault. He hasn't
That's
seen the movie. It's
I
it's an
know
okay movie. It's not as great as the first one, so it's okay. Um,
that's what I heard.
so T'Challa has a child in that movie, and his name
Oh,
is T'Challa. So
okay.
we thought that they were gonna age him up to be the new T'Challa in Black Panther,
Makes
but
sense.
I don't think they're gonna have enough time to age him up. So
So
now
it's a
we are
movie.
assuming. I know, but it's still kind of a time frame. Like you would have to. He's like 7, or no, maybe at the most. I think he's 11 in that movie. Um, and that was who? When did that come out? I think 2022.
The first Black Panther.
The Black Panther Wakanda.
Yeah, 2022.
Okay, so if he was, let's say he's 11, that's only he'll be 14 maybe
15.
by the time the
Yeah.
movie 15. So that's not enough to have a dope T'Challa. Um,
He got bro Brady on. He's in the richest part of the world. He's fine. Oh,
it's not
man.
enough time. It's not enough time. You want an adult T'Challa. We would like to see a teenage T'Challa going as he growing. That'd be cool. That's a different story. But we want an adult T'Challa Black Panther right now.
All right.
And Shuri is technically the Black Panther right now. So
Right.
the rumor is that they are going to have another dimensions T'Challa come over. That would explain why he looks different. That would explain why he's an adult already. It's a perfect
Okay.
kind of way to do that. They did approach an actor. The word hasn't come out what actor it was to play T'Challa, and that actor turned it down because they didn't know if they could do as good of a job as Chadwick Boseman did, and they wanted to honor Chadwick Boseman, which I understand, and that's going to be their biggest issue. I think they're
Yeah.
going to have to go get a no name um, actor to make this his really first big role to do that. To have somebody that doesn't feel they have to live up to Chadwick Boseman per se, or feel they could do as good as Chadwick Boseman, it's gonna be difficult for him to do. I'm all for recasting him because I still want to have Black Panther in the MCU. So I'm
Right.
100% on board of recasting him. Um, it's still a tall order, and I do feel bad for the person that is put into that role. I will support them. I can't say about the rest of the world. The rest of the world might not support them like that, but I will. I will support them and give them the best opportunity to try to fill that role as best they can and try to judge them on just their portrayal and not on what Chad would have done. It's gonna be
Mhm.
hard, but I'm gonna try to do that. Um, but yeah, it is. That's the rumor that they already are looking, put fillers out there to people. So most likely in the next Avengers movie, which is I think Avengers Doomsday. or Avenger Doom, I think it's called, one of those titles, we might see T'Challa in that. And if not that, we'll see him in the other next Avengers Secret War movie. Um, so I'm thinking maybe 2027, 28, we'll see him in one of those, but we'll probably hear a little more about it in the next like year or two. But I totally agree with recasting him. I think that is the right move. And with them having different characters from different multiverses, it is a perfect time to do that because you can get a T'Challa that doesn't look like T'Challa and can be easily explained like, well, he's from a different universe or a different multiverse, so that's why he's here, and that will work perfectly for what they're doing right now. But it is sad and happy to see that they're on the board of recasting him. Um, that first Black Panther movie is always going to be there. We can always go watch it, always relive those moments with him. So that's never going away. That's like that movie was on repeat in my house. My son loved that movie. My daughter loved that movie. We bought it. That's like the first movie I bought in a long time. We bought that and just watched it on repeat. I can remember where I was when I found out he passed. I'm not gonna lie, I cried, and like I didn't know it would hit me like that, but him in that character meant so much to not only me but other black men, black boys, black girls. It was just so
Facts.
powerful, and it's
Facts.
it's something that you can't not understand. You can't believe the power it gave kids to see themselves in characters they loved. That's
Right.
why it matters to have diverse characters. It matters to be able to see other representations of people on screen. Um, it's a powerful thing for people to see themselves in the things they love. So shout out to Chadwick. Rest in peace. Rest in power. We love the work you did from all your roles, except for
Yes.
that Egypt movie. That Egypt movie was bad. But
Egypt
everything else
movie?
he did. What was it Gods of Egypt?
Oh.
He was in that. It's not a great movie. It's bad. But the other work he did is amazing.
I was gonna say, well, everything else was great, because he knew he was sick, so he was again, like you said, shout out to him because he was cranking out movies while he was
Yes.
sick and hurting it. And I
Yes.
remember I heard one story. I'm drawing a blank on which movie he was filming. Oh, it was the
It had to be
one
that
in the
Spike Lee.
jungle, the Spike
Yeah,
Lee
that's a
movie.
Spike Lee
Yes,
one. Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it. I saw the movie, but they was like, yeah, he was getting his feet, he was getting massages between takes, and some of the actors was like, look at this guy, he think he all that, he's getting massages the whole time because he was sick, he had cancer, and
Yeah.
he cranked out those movies, and
He
I
did. He did.
echo what you said about the first Black Panther. That's the only movie I saw twice in the movie theater. I saw that movie twice in the
Yeah.
movie theater. I've seen that movie a bunch of times. Yeah, it was just made proud, like you said, to see a black superhero of that magnitude. So yeah,
Hmm.
it was a wonderful time.
Yeah, I saw it like 4 times in the theaters.
Yeah.
4 times. Two of them I went by myself.
Hmm.
2 times I went by myself just to see it again. The
Yeah.
movie you were talking about was The Five Bloods, which was a good
Yes.
movie too. That was a good movie. That was a movie that introduced me to what's his name? Um, I'm blanking on his name. Jonathan Majors. Jonathan
Ah.
Majors.
Yes.
That's the movie that introduced me to Jonathan Majors. That was the first time I can vividly remember seeing him and was like, "Who is
Hmm.
this dude?" Um, which hopefully he does get a chance to come back. Um,
Oh, he was making good. Nah, he good. He good. No pun intended. No pun intended. He good, man. Sucker.
He
Yeah,
good.
sucker. Yeah,
All right.
man.
Yeah. So, but look forward to seeing who they will cast as Black Panther, T'Challa, and seeing how they continue that story and hopefully do a positive job with it. Yeah, but that's the last piece of superhero news. So, Marcus, go ahead and close us out. Let the people know where they can find us and all that good stuff.
All right. Oh, yes. And we're going to wrap up the show. Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope that you come back for our next episode. You can find us on all social media platforms under sports and superheroes. We'll be posting clips soon, so be on the lookout for us. We look forward to feedback. Drop comments, let us know what we can do better, with some feedback. Also, if there is like a topic you would like for us to discuss, drop those in the comments as well. We're here for the people. Okay. Hey, so yeah. So come check us out next week, and we will talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Go subscribe. Hit all the buttons. All the stuff is
Yes,
in the
like and
description down
subscribe.
below.
Like and subscribe.